Okay, so this log, we actually have two negatives happening, outside and inside, which means there are going to be two flips. We're going to start with the base graph. The base graph is our standard log base b of x graph. In this case, the b is 2, so if we want to get specific here, we can just say we're going to plot that one. But this one is exactly the same as the other ones we've talked about before. It's going to have a vertical asymptote and it's going to cross at 1, 0. So as before, that's going to be the same base graph we're going to start with. Okay, next let's take care of the inside parenthesis. We're going to do y equal log 2 of x plus 2. We won't worry about the negatives. We'll deal with those in the last two steps. If we just have x plus 2, what that's going to do is move the entire graph two places to the left. Again, it's always opposite direction of the sign we see inside here. So we're going to move it two places over to the left, and this is where our vertical asymptote is going to be. It's going to be at -2. This point here, 1, 0, that also shifts two places over to the left, which means it's going to cross here at -1. Since we're not doing any flips yet, we're just talking about this one, the graph is going to still look the same as our base graph. Okay, now let's start dealing with negatives. Now it doesn't matter which negative you apply first. Let me do the one inside first, but again, it doesn't matter. You can do it either order. We're going to do negative x plus 2. We're going to do that one. So now we're adding in the negative. What that's going to do is this graph that is drawn here, the negative there, what that does is it's going to flip the graph over like this and end up going to the left. So I have my vertical asymptote, which is going to be right here. That's the pivot that I'm using. So I'm taking this and I'm going to shift it, I'm going to move it over this direction. So I'm using that as a pivot. So the point that's right here, that pivots over to the other side. So it was at 1 going to the right, we're now going to go 1 to the left, which means that the graph is now going to cross right here, okay, at -3. Then the graph is going to go that direction. So it was going to the right, we do a flip, now it's going to go to the left. So that's what the graph looks like. Then finally, we're going to deal with the other negative. That's the other negative out front. We dealt with the one inside, now we're going to do the one outside. So this is going to end up being our final equation, our final answer. Okay, so now we're going to apply the other negative. We're still going to take this drawing here, but now this, we have to flip it over the horizontal axis. So instead of it going that way, instead it's now going to fall. So it's still going to cross at the same spot, it's just that now it's going to fall. So we still have our vertical asymptote at x equals 2. It's still going to cross the same spot, our x-intercept is still the same, but the graph is now going to fall and look something like that. So the whole thing flips. So we have both flips going on, and this is what your final answer would look like. Domain. This time it's going to the left. So that's going to be going towards -infinity. -infinity up to -2. -2 is where the asymptote is. X-intercept, we see it crossing at -3. So write -3 or -3, 0 if you prefer. Vertical asymptote, we can read that off the graph too. That's x equals -2. So this would be all the information they're asking for.